taking a look at the climate still in southern Cameroon, we've seen that the Colonial Divisional Officer for Nkambe, Boka Dijibril, has announced a new and immediate restriction on all motorbike movement into and out of the town. From 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., no motorcycles will be allowed to enter or leave Nkambe until December 31st, 2025, a measure the Colonial administration says is intended to reinforce security in the local government area. This proclamation comes at a time when insecurity, kidnappings, and high tension alerts continue to rise across the Midland and Savannah zones of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia and across even the Atlantic zone. It also follows the widely reported use of motorbikes during the outlawed October 12th French Cameroon presidential election, a period in which the regime relied heavily on motorbike convoys to smuggle ballots, transport agents, and create the illusion of political participation. Now, what makes today's curfew particularly striking is its timing. It directly contradicts recent declarations by French Cameroon loyalists and propagandists who boldly claimed that Nkambe was completely secure, stabilized, and fully under control. If the town is as safe as the colonial narrative insists, the question is why impose a curfew that disrupts livelihoods, restricts movements, and signals fear? Why does a supposedly peaceful town suddenly require such drastic military policing measures? For many Ambazonians, the move suggests a silent acknowledgement by the colonial administrators that the occupation is crumbling from within, that insecurity is rising, and that the colonial system cannot guarantee even the illusion of normalcy without restricting civilians. Local motorbike riders, many of whom rely solely on this trade for survival, they now fear that the curfew will hamper economic activity, obstruct movement of essential goods, and open opportunities for harassment by colonial forces at night checkpoints. Now, the question, having this important report, there are critical questions shaping the national conversation that we'd like to get clarity on. And we'll have to start with you, Barrister Mbeseha. What do these sudden curfews reveal about the colonial regime's actual level of control in Nkambe and across Ambazonia? Would you agree that this curfew actually does signal a deeper recognition by Yaoundé that Ambazonian forces hold effective territorial influence in the southern Cameroons? Barrister Mbeseha.
Well, I think it shows desperation on behalf of the administration. They are purely desperate. Because, for example, this is Nkambe. Nkambe is not a very big town in the first place. The only means of movement there is by bike or on foot. They ask people not to ride their bikes in the evening. You impose a curfew. They cannot move in and out at a certain hour of the night or the evenings. Why? Why? Just because they're in Nkambe? If there's insecurity in Nkambe, which I'm sure is, who told the administrator that the insecurity is caused by bike riders? So motorbikes have become guns? They have become weapons? Or what is it? This sheer desperation. But as you said there rightly, this is Nkambe. This is home to Ngala Gerard and other criminals who sit over there. Their desperation is a sign that they've lost control. In Nkambe in particular, and almost everywhere in Amazonia. They are desperate. That guy who's sitting there and calling himself a divisional officer or the SDO, he's just trying to show you how data is working. He's just trying to show you how data is doing something. He's doing nothing. Because he has, for example, we've heard about this in Bororos and so on in Nkambe, roaming down the streets and killing people. They do not use motorbikes. They don't do that only at night. They do it when they want to do it. And the government is doing nothing. All what you know is that sometimes the prefect will issue an order, a statement, not even an order, claiming that investigations are ongoing, whose investigations no results ever come out. It's a sign of desperation. It's a sign of defeat. For the past 8 years, 9 years now, they have failed. They have failed and failed woefully. And so what is happening in Nkambe and by extension other parts of Amazonia, is a sign that they have completely failed. Government has collapsed. What they call the authority has collapsed almost everywhere in Amazonia. And so they take those desperate measures to pretend to tell their bosses in Yaoundé that they are doing something. Remember who these people are. This prefect or sous-prefect or whatever thing you call him is a chef de terre who enjoys his own territory created by presidential decree. And so he has to hang up to that in order to justify his next appointment. Shame unto them. It has not helped them before. It's not going to help them now. Let Mr. Ngala Gerard come there and do it for us. He is an MP. He cannot claim not to be from that part of Nkambe. Because once an MP become a national MP by their own definition. So he's an MP from Nkambe. He is equally an MP for Meza. He's equally an MP for Manyu. But worst of all, he's the first MP in Nkambe. And so it's failure. Government has collapsed. Ambazonia is prevailing. We can only say the people should bear it patiently. There's no way you can control water with your hands. The movement people will move. Can guarantee you. Because the MP, the prefect doesn't even have the forces to enforce that. The go around chasing every bike rider because of his so-called curfew. What is the difference between today and end of the year? What makes this 2 months different? What has happened from the last 8 years? What does it think that will occur this Christmas time that he needs a curfew? It's pure desperation. Let him wait for the day that he will move out of that place and save himself the pains of taking fruitless actions. Over to you.
Yeah, well emphasized. I'll have to go now to SOS Sylvester. We have the question on in regards to this report. How does the Amazonian defense leadership, like yourself, actually interpret this contradiction? A regime calling Nkambe safe, yet employing such measures as curfews.
Well, they can call it safe. Let them come. Let them go to the nightclub by themselves. We want them to go to the nightclub. We challenge him to walk down to downtown Cambe by himself, like any other citizen in that area, and he will know what it is if it's safe enough for him. He comes in there in an armored car. He comes in there with guards, and he says it's safe. That publication that is out there, it's null and void. We are not gonna ask our citizens to abide by that. They'll let them go about their business, and if he likes, let him come and stand out there. We are asking our ASA to enforce any person at night who is disturbing our citizens will be brought to book. We are not going to hamper our citizens' activities because of one lousy senior divisional officer. And remember, he's the head of the military in that part of of Amazonia, and according to our knowledge, they don't have up to 500 soldiers in Cambe. So the people can literally rout those soldiers. And the time will come when they will get out running or they will go back in their casket, as many of them as possible. We are just working with them. We are working and finding ways to deal with that. But at the end of the day, this will come about because of their trying to overreach. He's trying to overreach his influence to tell people when they can get up and do their businesses whenever they want. He does not have no control over Amazonia. We've made it ungovernable for him. Let him just shut up and get his salary and stay safe because we are coming for him.